In this session, we're going to look at the WCA PEGASUS Benchmarking and Performance Improvement Project and hear from Rosy Wang, who's the WCA Project Manager for PEGASUS. Rosy has a lot of technical experience in the cement industry and was a plant manager for Lafarge for several years. So Rosy, can you introduce us to the PEGASUS project and tell us a little about the performance so far?
Good morning, good afternoon. My name is Rosy Wang. My Chinese name is Wang Zhirong. Please allow me to introduce myself. I have a cement process background. I have worked for cement industry for more than 30 years. 11 years in Design Institute. 11 years in Lafarge. As process manager, plant manager in the best performance plant in Lafarge Group, and also team leader for engineering department in Asia Technical Center, Malaysia, and more than 11 years in Schneider Electric as Global Solution Director for cement. Now I'm working for WCA as a senior coordinator and a project manager for PEGASUS. What is PEGASUS? It means plant evaluation, gap analysis, and support services. The objective of the PEGASUS project is to help participating WCA members to improve their plant efficiencies and reduce costs. The project is benchmarking to help identify and quantify potential improvement opportunities. The benchmarking is split into 3 parts. The phase 1, energy efficiency and the CO2 emission. The KPIs are specific power consumption per ton clinker, per ton cement for finished grinding, and also specific heat consumption and the CO2 emission per ton clinker, per ton cement, etc. And the phase 2 for maintenance and reliability for kilns and mills. And phase 3 is for operations and industry 4.0. How many members have participated in this project? So far, we have 11 members with 90 integrated cement production lines and 32 grinding stations. The plants located in 12 countries: China, India, France, Mongolia, Morocco, Saudi, Rwanda, South Africa, Zimbabwe, and Cyprus. It is an ongoing dialogue with the participants to get the data right and to provide results with the most useful form. What is the progress so far? We have finished the phase 1 with the energy efficiency and the CO2 emission. We had arranged several rounds discussions with each member and identified the improvement priority plans and improvement areas priorities. In this month, we are validating the data and the KPIs for maintenance costs and reliability factors. And also next month, in June, we will validate the KPIs for operations and industry 4.0. How we will help the plants to improve. In quarter 3, we will organize our resources from our WCA professional committees and the networks to help you on the priority plans and areas. And we will organize the investigations on site or make the remote discussions with the plant team. will come with the recommendations with improvement plan by working together with the plant team. We will also share the best practice in our WCA website, or will organize members forum to physically visit plants after the COVID-19 clearance. For example, we may organize a visit to Taiwan's UCC as a world level energy efficiency demonstration line. And we also visit Darmia for the CO2 emission as a pilot. Thank you all for participating in the PEGASUS project. We will welcome more members to join the PEGASUS project. Together with our professional committees, we will provide more value-added services to you. Thank you.
Thanks, Rosy. Next, we're going to move on to hearing from participating member companies, getting some feedback from their representatives. So, Delon, it's good to have a chance to talk to you about PEGASUS. PPC's been participating since the beginning, and can I ask you, what's been your experience of participating in the PEGASUS project?
Yes, so far I would say it's been actually quite a pleasant and quite an easy, exercise that we've been having with the team and the various team members involved. Obviously, the key things is about learning, and with the team at the WCA, there's different perspectives, new perspectives that PPC have not been used to previously, different ways of measuring KPIs. Some definitely, adds value, and some opens up new understandings, and some you can challenge as well. And I think that for me has been the key, that ability to question and challenge and reach some sort of consensus that has made this project and being participating in the project, very pleasant and quite enjoyable as well.
Yeah, well, we've really appreciated all questions that you've asked, because that's helped us to, figure out how to make the project more relevant. Yeah. What would be the benefits that you can point to that you think you've achieved by participating?
Well, I think, off the cuff, and I think I mentioned it previously, the one is learning about, let's say, new methodologies in terms of operational KPIs. Ones that we were probably used to, but utilizing in a different way. So that has opened up new perspectives for us. And let me say, obviously, I can't say 100% we've adopted it, but it's a process and it's a journey. And that is why we embark on this journey, because you need to be open to learning these new things. So for me, that has been key. And also having that ability, during COVID, post-COVID, to engage with people across the world, different backgrounds, different languages. That always brings challenges in terms of understanding, especially technical terms. So that opportunity that has been afforded to us during that time, and which we signed up for, I think that has also been one of the key, let's say, key points that we benefit from during this exercise. I mean, still having that engagement during a lockdown period is good for continuous improvement and continuous learning.
Yeah, so what we've concentrated on so far has been primarily the energy efficiency and emissions and CO2 emissions particularly. In the next phase, we're going to move on to looking at maintenance and reliability, maintenance costs, of course. Are there particular things you're hoping to get out of the next phase of the project?
Yeah. So, I think that for me will be a very interesting phase, because with the operational KPIs, the emissions, the energy efficiencies, those sort of KPIs one can relate to because it's based on predefined systems, ISO systems, and so forth. On the maintenance side, what I found is different organizations use different systems. Some people use SAP, some people use what we use called OnKey, and so forth and so forth. So it'll be very interesting to look at these systems and how they drive reliability and availability within the different organizations. How they drive learning, and how it's linked to the OEMs and the OEM recommendations. So for me, that will be the key thing that I'm looking forward to, is to understand these different systems and what are the parallels that we can draw on. What are there must be positives one can learn from, and also pick up on some of the negatives and drawback that we can highlight to one another. No system is perfect, and I think that will be a key thing for us going forward, to understand those differences and how we can learn from it.
Yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right. One of the reasons we looked at energy efficiency first was because it's rather easier to benchmark energy efficiency. Everybody's used to that. Maintenance and maintenance costs and reliability, I think, perhaps not so much reliability, but at least on the cost side, it's a lot more difficult to make sure everybody is counting the same thing. But I also think there's a big opportunity there. I remember from my days with Holcim that there are big differences in maintenance costs around the world.
Correct.
And hopefully we can identify where the maintenance costs are lowest, and identify how in other places members can close that gap. So
correct. Absolutely. Sure.
And then just thinking about for members or potential members that haven't joined WCA yet, and perhaps considering joining WCA or considering joining the PEGASUS project, what would be your advice to them, or your comments to them?
So, I must say, when I had initially heard about it, there was nothing really to go on. There was no, let's say, historical background that one could look onto to try and understand this process. But having gone through it, I think for me, what really is very attractive is the fact that you have that ability to engage with people from different continents, different background, different technological understandings, and different technological viewpoints as well. People within different legislative landscapes. I mean, some people following different standards, and that for me is what's the biggest benefit that I could see anyone can derive. Typically, I mean, from a South African context, we've always aligned ourselves to an EN type standard operation, or let's call it like a VDZ or a European OEM manufacturer. Sorry. This opens up much more to understand the Asian market, across the board, across, all the other continents as well. So for me, I think that is what it opens up for you. And obviously that ability to engage with different people as well, different backgrounds and different cultural backgrounds. It's definitely something I would recommend, and I would encourage people, different organizations, to get involved in.
柯董总您好，
王总好，
感谢中国联合水泥 COCC 对世界水泥协会 WCA 工作的支持。贵司参加了本次WCA 会员工厂对标、差异分析和巡检服务，我们简称 PEGASUS 的项目，请分享一下您的经验好吗？
好，谢谢王总。这个中国联合水泥呢参加了 WCA 会员企业的工厂对标，通过这个对标活动呢，我们确实找到了我们一些公司的一些不足。我们原来呢，对吧？我们认为我们那个碳生产线，对吧？也叫做世界能耗最低的一个生产线，也就示范线。我们认为我们的指标呢应该非常不错了。我们的那个煤耗呢，基本上的话是94.6公斤标煤，低于这个数。我们那个塑料的综合炼耗，基本上在44度电多一点。我们认为这个地方非常好。但是通过这对标分析呢，我们发现了我们的一些比较好的地方，也发现了我们的不足。我们比较好的地方，对吧？包括我们那个主机设备的，对吧？单耗，我们的高温分级5.1度电，这里面是目前来说我们对标企业最好的。但是我们的就是为头排分级，我们应该说我们比战煌金宇的1度电 吨塑料，我们差距还是有的。同时呢，在我们那个标煤上，对吧？我们会有的会员企业达到了43.2，我们有的会员企业达到了标煤达到了是93.2公斤标煤。塑料的综合电耗揭开印度的水泥也达到了43.2度电。水泥的综合电，水泥的粉末电耗，有的企业呢达到了是23.3度电，这也是比我们那个中联合水泥做的比较好的。通过这些数据的分析呢，对吧？我们现在呢就是这种差异分析，对每台设备的差异分析，每个工序的差异分析，我们也发现了我们的许多的不足。然后呢，通过 WCA 的这种巡检服务，让我们那个中联合水泥呢经济技术指标这里边呢持续提升，对我们呢就是收获比较大。也希望呢就是我们那个更多的会员企业参与这种对标，只有这样呢，我们那个才能找出我们自己的不足，对吧？我们才能呢共同提升，
让更多的会员受益。
对，
好，谢谢王总。如果其他会员企业考虑 PEGASUS 项目，你想对他们说些什么？提出哪些建议呢？
这里面呢，就是如果大家都参与这里面的项目，我觉得呢，最主要的几个方面，第一个呢是什么？我们那个就是数据的这种收集积累，对吧？一定要客观，要真实，只有这样的话，才能给其他的会员企业提供更多的这种参考。这是第一个。第二个呢，如果参与这种差异分析，这里面呢就需要我们那个信息化，这个数据的这种那个广度一定要多。第三个呢，如果我们大家要参与这种那个就是叫做巡检服务，巡检服务呢，第一个呢要针对问题，这种你认为你那个问题针对性要强，同时呢，如果我们那个会员企业要想让其他的企业这种帮扶也好，这种服务也好，一定要去之前呢，一定要数据收集、资料收集，一定要真实客观，反映问题，对吧？一定要准确，只有这样的话，我们那个提供的这种那个就是巡检服务，才能更加有效、更加迅速、更加有针对性，对吧？
好的，谢谢王总。下一阶段 WCA 将对维修成本、可靠性系数等方面进行对标。您对具体的对标成果有哪些期待呢？
这个我觉得呢，应该就针对这个中国联合水泥来讲，因为中国联合水泥呢处于中国的这种那个华北，对吧？我们这个地方呢基本上是京津冀，对吧？2+26环境敏感地区，我们停窑的时间呢比较长。就是政府呢，就是强制性停窑，因为环保的问题，强制性停窑就是160天。我们剩下的时间非常有限。对吧？我们也希望呢，就通过这种那个可靠性方面的，对吧？这个就是这种那个对标，对吧？让我们呢了解呢，就是其他的先进企业在设备可靠性上有什么先进的东西，让我们呢就是在剩下的呢就是205天，我们的设备呢高速运行，不掉链子，产生更大的就是效益，我们也非常期待，对吧？通过这个就是可靠性的对标，让我们中国联合水泥的整个的装备管理水平，对吧？我们的生产管理水平有个较高的提升。谢谢。
So Ahmed, can I just ask you, what's your experience of participating in the PEGASUS project been?
Yes, for our experience for our group for the PEGASUS experience, it's very good, and we have a good exchange between WCA. And for me, it's very good experience, and we like to participate for the future experience.
Okay, that's good to hear. And are there specific benefits that you can point to that you've been able to realize as a result of participating?
For the benefit, we have seen the situation for our group compared to the participants of WCA, and we have seen some issue and some parts when we can improve more our performance, and in locally we make some action to achieve the good objective.
So it's helped in setting targets and priorities. Is that right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. So what we've covered so far is mainly energy consumption and CO2 emissions. And the next stage, we're going to move on to maintenance and reliability. Do you have any specific expectations from the next stage, things that you'd like to get out of the next stage?
Yes, for the next stage, to the part of the reliability. Yes, it's we can go the same from the performance, and we can also see our situation in the reliability and the main time between failure and the maintenance cost to see our case to the other participants. It's very important also for the reliability.
Okay. So I think there's probably a bigger difference. It's more difficult to benchmark maintenance for various different reasons, but I think there is potentially a bigger difference between the best and the worst. So maybe there's a bigger benefit to benchmarking in maintenance and reliability than in the energy consumption. So let's see if we can make sure we give useful feedback. If there were other members, other WCA members who were thinking about joining the project, what would your advice to them be?
Yes, for the other groups can join the WCI. I think for the big groups in the work, it can be good to join the WCI to have more company and more plant to benchmark.
Okay. Well, thank you. And thank you for talking to us today about Pegasus.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.
So I think you can see from the feedback from participating members that Pegasus is an ongoing activity. It's a dialogue with members, which we try to make as relevant and effective as possible. In addition to the benchmarking part of the project, we also organize events that focus on particular topics in depth to try to help members with performance improvement in those areas. The next stage of the project is going to look at maintenance and utilization and reliability. And then later in the year, we'll move on to benchmarking the implementation of Industry 4.0 technologies. So Pegasus is core to the objective we have, the central objective that we have of bringing value to members and improving their productivity, their profitability, and their carbon footprint. I hope you found this informative, and if you have any questions about the Pegasus activities, then please let me know. Thanks.